Hello everyone and welcome to the class. So as we all can see that today the topic will be related to the term science. In our subject secondary or senior secondary education, the topic for today will be importance of science subject in school curriculum. The learning objectives for today's class will be to understand the concept and nature of science, to acknowledge the importance of science subject in school curriculum, and to also identify the goals and objectives of teaching science in school. So let us first see what are the specific aims of education. What does education state? Aims of education clearly says that education is a process of bringing about changes in an individual in a desired direction. So that's all what education do. Then it is a process of helping a child to develop his potentialities to the maximum and to bring out the best from within the child. जो बेस्ट स्टूडेंट कर सकता है उसको पूरी हेल्प करना है जिससे वो अपना बेस्ट प्रेजेंट कर सके. So for this, to bring about these changes, we teach them various subjects at different levels of school. And so also science is also included in the curriculum. So we need a student to develop professionalism. He should be able to need to develop self-learning ability. And we need to prepare him for the future life. He need to be socially aware. So we need to bring about changes in an individual, all-round development in a student. So let us look what is science first. So as we all can see that science is an organized way of gathering and analyzing evidence about the natural world, whatever is around us, the environment around us. So it is a way of observing, it is a way of thinking, it is a way of knowing. So it is not a thing, but it is a process. When we observe, think, know things, try, when the curiosity develops, so it becomes a process. Human beings are always curious by nature. They want to know more and more. This is the reason we are different from other organisms and other species in the world. So human beings have highly developed mind, because of which they can observe precisely, very minute things they can observe, correlate observations, whatever observations they have done, they can correlate all the observations, and they can also predict future happenings on the basis of their observations. So this ability has helped human beings to adjust to the nature around us, the environment around us. So they explore, try to find out more, they interpret, they are able to translate their thoughts and change the physical world according to their own need and requirement. So we can say that the process of observing, avlokan ke dwara, describing through explanation, exploring new things, and using the physical world is nothing but science. So what are the objectives of teaching science basically? Before taking any decision about teaching science, as a teacher educator, we should pose certain questions to ourselves, such as, why do we teach science? What are the goals and objectives of teaching science? What changes does science teaching bring about in the behavior of the students? So what is the need of teaching this subject in our curriculum at various levels of school? So basically science is a process. We have seen that it is not a thing. What is process? Process and processing are the words we often use in our day-to-day conversation and daily life. If we look at the examples in our teaching profession also, we see process, it is extensively used. Process is what? A systematic way of doing things. So admission process at the starting of the session, the teaching learning process which goes on throughout the session, the process of socialization, mixing up with other students, mixing up with peers, mixing up with our friends, examination process we all are familiar with, we have to go through, evaluation process. So these are all systematic way of doing things. So we can say that process in any way involve the following activities. What kind of activities are involved in the process? इस प्रक्रिया में कौन सी activities जो हैं वो involved होती हैं? It helps to accomplish a task, complete a task, पूरा करने में help करते हैं task को. Then a process is a way of doing work. किस तरह से हम उस काम को कर रहे हैं, whether it is systematic or not. Planning various stage of an activity. Whatever activity is performed, it should be planned in advance. Then also we can say that it will be, we can ensure that it will give a proper result. Establishing a systematic step for gathering and retaining information. So everything should be organized and proper, in a proper systematic manner, then it can become a process. So in science, the way of gathering information, thinking, measuring, solving any problem is a process. In other words, the way of learning science are called the processes of science. So we can see that the 6 basic skills every student need to be successful in science class are observing, inferring to the new conclusion, predicting, we can see what is going to happen, making models, making new things, classifying, we can classify in different divisions, evaluating. So these all science process skills a student should be able to learn. So this is the basic aim of teaching science. Goals and objectives. So first we will look at the terms goals and objectives. What are these? A goal is an ultimate target in life which an individual tries to achieve. A bigger goal we all have. So these are the long-term objectives which require a longer period of time to be achieved. For example, development of scientific attitude, or we want to make our students a responsible citizen. So these all things cannot be done in one day or 1 week. It needs time. It's time-taking process. So this is a goal. We have to reach that ultimate target. And where on the other hand, we can see objectives are short-term targets. To reach our goal, we need to develop certain objectives. So objectives are specific and they could be achieved in a single day or single hour. For example, acquiring knowledge about some specific things within a pre-specified time limit. So it all comes under the purview of objectives. So goal, we have to remember that these are the long-term objectives and long-term target, and objectives are the short-term targets. So what are the goals and aims for science teaching? These are the long-term targets. See, an individual teacher, they have lots of reason for teaching science, or we can say they have different goals. But it is impossible for any educational system to provide every facility to every teacher to achieve their goals. They may be tougher and higher. So therefore, in India, goals are decided at the national level by the Indian government. So various commissions and committees were set up by education, government of India after independence, and they all emphasized on the teaching of science from the primary level. So the science teaching was given importance at that time also. So basically all of them, if we see on an average, emphasized, recommended the teaching of science for the development of process skills like observation, classification, measurement, communication, and all other skills which we saw in the last slide. So basically, various commissions and committees also want that the student should develop these skills after learning science. So we all know that our students are the future citizens and they are the potential human resources. ये आने वाले फ्यूचर के हमारे सिटीजन्स हैं, नागरिक हैं, और हमारे लिए ये मानव संसाधन भी हैं. So they require to be developed into educated, sound, skilled and efficient citizens. इन्हें हमें educated ही बनाना है और उसके साथ उन्हें skills भी सिखाने हैं, efficiency भी सिखानी है. With fulfill the aims of social, economic, political and technological development of the society. तो society का भी ये सारे aspects को ध्यान रखते हुए development करना है. If we develop our students, society will be developed automatically. So the aim of education is to provide opportunities for personal all-round development of individuals. So we need to develop all-round development of the students in all areas, whether it is social development, economic development, political development, technological development, everything. So for this, we need to equip them with up-to-date and sound knowledge of science and technology. Because we are talking about science subject, importance of science subject, so we'll discuss about this thing only. So we need to make them up to date. So they should learn that they should learn new things. They should be up to date. They should be aware what is going around us, what is going around in our nature, what is going around in our environment. For example, the condition of COVID-19, the corona thing. So we all are aware. We are up to date about all the knowledge which is required to be safe from that disease. We need to make them capable of using science and technology for the betterment of human society. So this is the ultimate goal, that we need to develop them such that they are capable of giving something back to the human society. They need to do the betterment for the human society. So basically, the objectives of education can only be achieved if there are general objectives of the subject, aims and general objectives, okay? And then specific instruction objectives. Then only we can say that after achieving this, we have to set this. As a teacher educator, we all know that we have to decide certain objectives before going into the class, before taking any lesson, before taking any class. So if we go by this process, if we have objectives prepared, then only we will be able to give or achieve learning outcomes which we have set up. So basically, what are the goals and aims broadly for science teaching? Talking about this, acquisition and understanding of knowledge, the general terms and concepts, development of problem solving skill. So this problem solving skill is not only required in science, this is required everywhere in our daily life. Skill of investigation, to find out new things, ability to think logically, give logic behind everything, tark dena, and to draw conclusions on the basis of experiments. हम कुछ conclusion निकाल पाएं, जब हम कोई भी experiment करें तो conclusion निकाल पाएं. So that's what we have to teach our students. Development of ability to reach generalizations and to apply them for solving everyday problems. So what are we doing? As a teacher, we teach our students to solve their problems in their daily lives. So science is basically a subject according to which they will learn how to reach to conclusion पे कैसे आए, and how to apply the solution in their daily life, daily problems, everyday problems. Development of understanding of interrelationships of science and society. So this is most important thing which we have to teach our students, that after learning science, they need to learn that there is a relationship, interrelationship between science and the society. They are dependent on each other. Society के benefit के लिए ही science का use किया जाएगा. It will not be used for harming the society. And the last goal and aim we can see is to foster creativity in people, enabling them to carry out innovations in science. रोज हमारे सामने नई problems आती हैं, नई difficulties आती हैं in our environment, in our nature. So हमें creativity develop करनी है in our students so that they can think about some new things, bringing about new innovations in the area of science or in the field of science. Then after achieving that, for achieving that, we need to prepare certain general objectives, as we have discussed about goals and objectives. That goals are the ultimate target, long-term objectives, so they need time. And the specific objectives, instructional objectives, which we prepare for science teaching, they can be achieved in less time. So the specific objectives are divided under 3 domains, that are cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain. So basically, the purpose of formulating general instructional objectives is to measure the certain behavior of our students. So what are the instructional objectives on the basis of which we formulate these objectives? These are knowledge, gyan, understanding, avbodh, application, anuprayog, interest, ruchi, attitude, abhivritti, and skill, that is कौशल. तो ये 6 जो हमारे ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं, इंस्ट्रक्शनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, इनको हम रिटन वे में, behavioral objectives are written so that we can achieve the objective in our daily class in some short time. So here we can see that all the domains are covered. See, knowledge, understanding, and application. These all are covered in cognitive domain. ज्ञानात्मक पक्ष को cover करते हैं ये. Then interest and attitude covers affective domain, that is भावात्मक पक्ष. और उसके बाद आता है skill यानी कि कौशल, जो कि cover होता है psychomotor domain, that is क्रियात्मक पक्ष. तो ये जो सारे हमारे डोमेन्स हैं, हम इनको कवर करते हुए अपने लेसन को, अपनी टीचिंग को इम्प्रूव करते हैं. एंड सो वी एज अ टीचर नो दैट हाउ टू achieve these objectives in our class. So first of all, we will discuss about the first objective, the instructional objectives, that is knowledge. So knowledge is the lowest level of cognitive ability. ज्ञानात्मक पक्ष का अगर हम कहें तो ये सबसे निम्नतम स्तर है. In which acquisition of knowledge is done by the students. It states that students will acquire the knowledge of facts, concepts, principles, processes, and techniques. So first of all, when we introduce a topic in our class to the students, because the school students are new to any topic which you are going to teach. So you are giving first of all them the knowledge only. You are acquainting them with the concept, facts, principles, the processes, and techniques. So this is the first objective which we cover. So the behavior specification to demonstrate the achievement of this objective is that pupil will be able to recall what? Terms, facts, concepts, principles, and processes, etc. Recognize facts, terms, concept, principles, and processes, etc. So every time when these things come in their life, they are able to recall and recognize. So this is the knowledge, the first step which we have taken. So recall and recognize are what? They are the action words. Action words are used in every objective while writing. So it represents what? It represents the behavior of the individuals. What kind of behavioral changes which we want to bring about in our students. So this overt behavior can be observed and measured by teacher as well as by any evaluator or any observer. So these objectives are measurable also. They can be measured so that we can know what are the faults and we can later on improve in our next classes. Then the next cognitive ability is comprehension or understanding. It states to develop the ability to understand facts, concepts, principles, theories, and techniques. So earlier we have only gained the knowledge. Now what? We are going to understand everything in detail, in deep. So what kind of behavior specification of objectives of the pupil will be? They will be able to illustrate terms, facts, concept, principles by citing examples. So if they have understood, they can cite examples also. They can express the same fact or concept in different ways by giving explanation regarding that. They can locate errors because now they understand what is right and what is wrong. So they can locate errors in known situation and they are able to correct them also because they know the correct answer now. Compare and contrast. They are able to differentiate. Classify different objects, facts, or any information. They will be able to do the classification part. Discriminate or differentiate between allied substances or concepts. They will be able to identify relationship between different facts and concepts and principles, whatever are given in our science curriculum. They will be able to extrapolate for known information. They will be translating symbolic statement into verbal statement and vice versa. So they will be able to understand the concept, then they can do these kind of behavior will be changed in the students. They can read data, charts, graphs, and interpret them. They can also detect errors in any statements which have been given wrongly by the faculty or any other expert. They can verify the facts that this is correct, this is not. They can solve various numerical problems which are given there. So if they have understood the concept, they will be able to do all of these things. Application. Now we all know that what we have learned, we have to apply also. Otherwise, there is no use of this education. So the essence of teaching learning is the application of knowledge. This is the essence of it. You are able to do this only because you have the knowledge and understanding of the things around yourself. So first we have to gain the knowledge, then we have to develop understanding, and then only we can apply the knowledge around us. So the third objective aims at using knowledge in new situations, in unknown situations. So it states to develop the ability to apply knowledge of concepts and principles of science in new or unfamiliar situations. The students, the behavior specification of the objectives are that the pupil will be able to analyze situation or any problem, whichever they face, formulate hypothesis. They will be on the basis of observations. What is going to happen? So they will hypothesize. Select appropriate methods and material for testing the hypothesis. Whatever hypothesis, the imagination, what they have done, that what is going to happen next, they will be able to select appropriate methods for that. And what kind of material they should use so that they can give the result. Give reasons for happenings. Whatever events and happenings are going on around us or going on around the students, they will be able to give reasons for that, why this is happening. Draw conclusion, inferences, and generalizations. So they will be able to give generalizations. They will be able to predict results or happenings on the basis of known facts. So whatever they have learned in their classes, on the basis of knowledge and understanding, they will be able to predict results. They will be able to give results, what is going to happen in future. They will be able to predict. Then next objective is interest and appreciation for science. So this is very important, because if the student do not take interest in their class or in the subject, they will not be able to produce what we are expecting from them. So pupils learn only when they enjoy the subject. This is must. And appreciate the fruits of science for the development of society. So they need to appreciate whatever they are learning. So our next objective states to develop the power of appreciation of the developments in science and to create interest in learning science. So for this, the teacher has to do hard work. So the behavior specifications, which will be demonstrated by the students on achieving the objectives, are that the pupil will be able to show thrill and excitement while performing science experiments. So science can only be taught with the use of experiments, demonstrations only. And if the student is taking part in it and showing thrill and excitement, so that means that he or she is interested in the experiment. They are liking it. Feel satisfaction in collecting and exhibiting the materials, objects, specimens, and the pictures showing development of science. So they will feel satisfaction. Yes, that whatever they are learning, they are trying to find out more. They can collect materials, objects, pictures related to that. These are the things which students at school level do. They can be given a project regarding that. They can prepare a scrapbook. They enjoy performing experiments in chemistry or other subjects of science. They will try to find out more. from internet or other magazines or going to the library. So that means that they will be enjoying reading the scientific literature, and also they will read with interest about everything regarding science, whatever inventions have been done so far, whatever contributions have been given by the scientists to the society, whatever sacrifices they have made. For example, Archimedes, Einstein, what were they? What were their background and how they were able to give something useful to our society? So what was the process? So they will take interest in that. They will be able to, when they will be able to gain knowledge through reading and understanding, then they will be able to take part in various scientific debates, discussions, and functions everywhere. They will explain interdependence of society and individuals. What are the interdependence? Why we are dependent on our nature? Why we are related with our environment? So what we have to contribute for that? They will be able to collect materials and specimens whenever they will be required to. They will preserve materials, leaves, flowers, stones, minerals properly, because they now know that this is interesting and how we have to do. They will learn the procedure. They will take interest in visiting places of scientific interest on their own also, like the science parks, science exhibitions. They can visit that with great interest, and they will try to find out about more events wherever they are happening. They can contribute articles on topics of scientific interest. When they have understood the concept, they will be able to contribute by writing articles or write-ups or projects. They can join scientific lobby clubs, or in schools there are different clubs like art club, science club, nature club. So they will take interest in joining them. They can improvise the models and apparatus according to their knowledge. So this is the duty of a science teacher and all teacher educators, that we try to develop interest in our students so that they can appreciate the subject. They will try to find out more about that subject. Now, the next objective is the scientific attitude. It is the ultimate aim of science teaching. What we want to do? We want to develop the scientific attitude. So you all will also agree that if we teach science properly, that is through activities, experiments, then we will be able to develop certainly some part of scientific attitude among our students. But we have to take care that any activity should be performed under the supervision of teachers, because it can be harmful also. And or never allow children to perform any unsupervised activities. These are the basic guidelines which the science teachers should follow. They surely will adopt scientific process for learning their environment. If we give efforts in our teaching, then the students will certainly adopt these processes in their life, in learning. So through guided and self-learning, they will acquire the behavior and attitude, which we call as scientific attitude. Acquiring scientific attitude, pupils will demonstrate the following behavior. If we want to achieve that attitude in our students, then what kind of attitude will be developed in our students? They will have a keen desire to know hows and whys of any event or phenomena. क्यों हो रहा है, किस लिए हो रहा है? They will be able to explain that and also want to find out. They will not ignore any detail, even if it is of no direct relevance of the work in hand. कोई भी minute detail जो है वो छोड़ना नहीं चाहेंगे. They will try to find out more. They will record, report, and interpret their observations honestly. So this is most important, that they do not need to copy from anywhere else. They need to do their work on their own by recording, by reporting, by writing on their own honestly. They will not accept or reject anything without valid reasons. So they will learn how to give reasons behind everything they are saying, everything they are writing, everything they are showing. They will suspend judgment till it is repeatedly confirmed. So they want to find out what is the conclusion. So they will never give any judgment without finding out the reasons. They are unbiased in their approach to any problems. So they will see the right and wrong of everything, and they will give the unbiased decision. They are willing to consider new ideas and discoveries. Whatever is going on around us in our today's world, what new discoveries are being done, what are the new ideas that are being developed, they will try to find out. They will admit their mistakes. If they have not given proper procedure, they have not followed the proper procedure, they can admit their mistake also. They will develop independent thinking. So that is the change in attitude we need to bring in our students. They will show a spirit of teamwork, self-help, and self-reliance. So they will try to do things on their own with the help of guidance, obviously, but they will try to find out more on their own. They can also do their work with the help of team. So if there is any project given to them, they can do that with their team, with the teamwork. They are prepared to face hazards in their investigation. Whatever problems come in their way, they are prepared that they will find out the solution, whatever problems come in their way while doing their investigation. So this is how the ultimate aim of science can be achieved in our students. Then the last objective are the skills. So science learning is science doing. अगर स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो इन्वेस्टिगेट नहीं करेंगे, वो लॉजिक्स फाइंड आउट नहीं करेंगे, एक्सपेरिमेंट्स नहीं करेंगे, इंक्वायरी नहीं करेंगे, so without that they will not be able to learn science, or they will not be able to develop any attitude or interest among themselves. So therefore for learning science various skills are required. कुछ कौशल जो है वो साइंस सब्जेक्ट को लर्न करने के लिए भी जरूरी है, required for performing activities and acquiring knowledge. How to do that, how to find out, how to investigate, these are the skills which they have to do. So also type of knowledge acquired by an individual depends upon the processes applied for acquiring it. So the next objective of teaching science states to develop observational, experimental, manipulative, and drawing skills. So these all skills need to be developed in our students. For that, they should know how to handle objects, various objects in their laboratories, material, instruments, or various specimens or apparatus properly. They know how to put them properly back after using them. So they should know how to clean them. They should be doing it carefully. How to observe or record anything, what they have observed accurately. That should be accurate. No manipulation should be there. So they should do their work honestly. So these are the skills they will learn. They should be able to measure weight through formulas or dimensions, volume, temperature, pressure accurately. They should know that if they have taken something, borrowed something from the laboratory or the place, they have to put it back in proper order and place. They should be able to draw diagrams, neat and appropriate diagrams, and they should be able to label them properly without any mistake. Make graphs and charts from the given data. They should be able to improvise apparatus. If they feel that this apparatus needs to be improvised, they can do that. The dissection should be done neatly. They should take all precautions while doing any kind of experiment or any kind of investigation in this subject, in the science subject. So with this, we can see that how by achieving, if the teacher properly formulates such objectives, instructional objectives, and follows the goals of the goals given by as at the national level, we can achieve, develop some learning outcomes, what we want to achieve in our students. These are the references which you can go through. eGyanKosh gives the material, it is given by IGNOU. And also there are certain blogs which I have mentioned here. And there is a YouTube channel on which you can go through about the concept of science and how we can make science subject more interesting. So at the end, we would like to discuss certain evaluation questions. Question number 1, what cannot be defined precisely as science? as we have studied the whole concept today. So I hope you all can be able to give answers to that, because this is the practice questions for all of you, that what is definitely not science. So this is very simple if you have understood the concept. You can go back to the PPTs and you can find out the answers. Question number 2, objectives are, this we have discussed. So basically we have to find out what are goals and what are objectives, if whether they are short-term or long-term targets. Question number 3, who are potential human resources? So we all know that who are the resources which we are preparing. So we can go through the options and find out the right answer. Question number 4, to achieve higher goals by teachers, they are decided at dash level. This we have discussed, that we cannot achieve every individual teacher's goals. So this is done at certain level, which is the certain level. Following is not the goal of science teaching. Out of the 5 options, you have to find out whichever option is not the goal of science teaching, which is not the aim for teaching science. Question number 6, instructional objective of skill comes under which domain? This we have discussed in one of the PPT. You can find out that this particular skill or any other instructional objectives, under which domain they are coming. They can be classified. Question number 7, following is the lowest level of cognitive ability. So what objective can be considered as the lowest level, only at the primary level of cognitive ability? Question number 8, instructional objective which aims at using knowledge in new situations is, when we have gathered knowledge, what do we do next? So this you have to find out. This we can go back and find out also. Question number 9, following skill is not required in science learning. So what are the skills? We have learned that. In the last slide, we have learned that certain skills have to be developed in our students. So what out of the 4 options, you have to find out what kind of skill need not be required to be developed in a student. Question number 10, development of dash is the ultimate aim of science teaching. So what is the ultimate of science teaching? Whatever we have learned in the whole lesson, whatever we have discussed today, so what is the ultimate aim of science teaching? Whether it is the writing skills, drawing skills, social attitude, or the scientific attitude. So after reading this, you will be able to practice all the questions and you will be able to answer that. Good luck in that. So with this, we come to the end of our topic today, and we will meet in the next class now. Thank you very much.